right, hopefully I don't make any mistakes, but if you look between the two thin white posts, you will see a little bunny. He's probably a couple months old. He's not newborn, but definitely on the smaller side. Did you know, just share this little tip here, if you have dogs and your dogs enjoy feasting on bunnies, that wild bunnies have worms. So something to note if you have dogs, might want to get some medication for that. All right, so we'll just continue on here. We're not here to talk about bunnies and worms, but I thought since I was filming and I could see him, I thought that I would share him in our time together. Could be a girl, no way to know, far too small. Okay, so I want to ask you a question, and you know, I like to ask questions because I want people to think. I want you to think about what you've been taught. I want you to think about what you believe. So if you believe in a pre-tribulation rapture, then are you planning to take every nickel you have, spend it all foolishly, and charge up your credit cards and because you know you don't have to pay it back? Is that what you're planning to do? I would hope you would say no, but if you truly think the Lord is going to return in a pre-tribulation rapture, then maybe that is what you've contemplated doing. Now, let me just clarify and say that I know the Lord will return because the Bible tells us. The question is when. Maybe you're pre-trib, maybe you're post-trib. I think the Bible makes a distinction between the tribulation and wrath. But if you are a pre-trib person, then maybe you should spend every nickel or charge up your credit cards, if that is your philosophy. Now, I don't think that's a smart thing to do, and I would never recommend that. But if that's what you think, if you think the Lord is coming back any moment, then the question is, why wouldn't you do that? Well, what if you were wrong? That's why you wouldn't do it. That's why that's a bad idea, to spend every nickel you have and to charge up your credit cards for things that you don't need, can't afford, shouldn't purchase anyways. It's a terrible idea because what if the pre-tribulation rapture is not a pre-tribulation rapture? Then you've spent every nickel and you've charged up these credit cards, and when you meet Jesus as judge, you've got to explain why you charged up $15,000, $20,000 for a bunch of crap that you don't need. Okay, so a couple Bible passages here. Hebrews 9:28 says this: so Christ was offered once to bear the sins of many. Crucifixion, right? But Christ was offered once to bear the sins of many. To those who eagerly wait for him, he will appear a second time, apart from sin, for salvation. So how do you answer that question? Because it says in Hebrews that he's coming a second time. If there was some sort of secret thing, wouldn't that be three? See, these are the questions you have to ask yourself, right? Because it says he's already been here once, but he's going to come a second time, only 2 times. And then also, if you believe in a pre-tribulation rapture, Matthew 24, verse 29 says this: immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from heaven and the powers of heaven will be shaken. Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and then all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send his angels with a great sound of the trumpet, and they will gather together his elect from the 4 winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So let me ask you a question, because it says immediately after the tribulation. How do you reconcile that in your mind in a we're getting out of here because the church is so amazing and we're so awesome world? How do you reconcile? How do you answer that question? That's just something that I want you to think about, because it's worth thinking about, don't you think? All right. Thank you for being here. God bless you. I appreciate it so much. Armor up, we ride at dawn. May God bless you as always. Have a great day.